Hakuna Matata. It's Saturday, August 10th, and I'm playing around with the electrical system, pulling out all the wires for the emergency exit windows and the emergency hatches. And let's see what else. I think that's about all I'm taking out, just so I could slim down the size of this wire bundle. If I had to do it all over again, I might have chosen to just cut the wires back there where I could see them, and then tape the ends or put some heat shrink over the ends to keep them isolated. But I wanted to do the extra mile, so I am. So today what I wanted to show you was, sorry about that, how to check your fuses. If you don't have a test light like this, I don't know how you could survive doing anything on fixing electrical problems. I don't know if this makes any difference to you, but CT113 is a model. This thing is from Fox Valley, and it's about 30 years old. It's got a nice thick insulation, rubber type insulation, and the wire is about 5 feet long, 4 feet long maybe. I got my alligator clip hooked onto a negative spot, and here's how you check a fuse. There's no easier way than this, man. So these little plastic guys, there's a little metal exposed point on two sides. So if you touch the tip of the test light, you'll see it illuminates. If it illuminates on the other side, the fuse is passing power. Here's one that's blown. Got power on one side and no power on the other. This fuse is blown. That's all there is to it. So my quest to learn how this bus was designed, electrically speaking, moves forward. These purple wires with the white stripe are the ones that went to our dome lights, the original dome lights in the ceiling. I've got my ignition key on, and we've got power, even with the dome light switches turned off. Okay? So when I turn the dome light switches on, obviously it makes no difference. So what that tells me is they control the dome lights on this bus by making or breaking the ground circuit. So somewhere in this mess of white wires are the ground circuits, and I am going to probe those guys. It's probably the ones that are out there, because yeah, I guess it could be this one here too. Where'd you go? When there's dome light, nah, I think it would not be this one. It'd probably be one that goes and leads back to the computer module. So I found that we've got a lot of wires that are white wires, which I'm assuming are grounds. They look like grounds, stuff like this where you have a whole bunch of them connected together. And I can check them for power, for ground, by putting my alligator clip of my test light on a positive, and then when I touch the tip, if it illuminates, it tells me it's a ground. Now it's either a switched ground or just a plain old ground. Now this fuse panel has got a big positive lead right there, and it has a big negative lead right there. Those two big wires are what I'm using down there to power my test light for ground and positive. So I would like to identify the dome light circuits that are ground circuits that are activated by those switches, just in case in the future I want to use those for something. And so what I'm going to do for starters is I'm going to run and grab the end of all those three right there, because, well, there's one right here I can grab. And then I'm going to switch my alligator clip from the negative to the positive. Alright? So now anytime I touch a ground, like, where'd you go? Like any stud or anything like that, my test light comes on. So what I can do is I'll just start with this guy and that guy over there. And if this will become a ground, I'm purposely leaving these ends cut this way for safety so I don't get any shorts. If this thing becomes a ground when I turn one of the dome light switches on, then I know I found it. So that's not working. Right? Nothing. Still nothing. Okay? So that's not one of them. Let's try this one. You notice this one here has got multiple things hooked to it, right? Or like a, you know, multiple things are on that circuit. All right, no grounds. So it's not that. All right, so let's go over there and check those and do the same thing. Okay, I found it. That bundle is that dome light switch ground. So when that switch is turned on, it supplies a ground to all the rear dome lights. Interesting. The front dome light is the opposite. The one over my head, the positive is switched on that one and the ground is always on. So interesting stuff. Okay, that's it. So here's the bottom line. Just about all of this is warning wires, tan, mostly every tan wire is for the warning system, either for the sash or the hatch. The two blue ones were for backup lights left and right, which I cut out because that was auxiliary backup lights left and right. I've already got my stop, tail turns, and backup lights here. That was for auxiliaries. Those were not even hooked up to anything because I only had 4 red lights across the back and they were hooked up to auxiliary tail and stop. There were no directionals in those, which kind of sucks because I wanted to use those circuits for trailer lights. So I pulled back three brown wires that I discovered were for auxiliary tail light left, auxiliary tail light right, and tag light. And then I pulled back, what was the other one I pulled back? I guess that was it. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I pulled those 3 extra wires back here. They're hanging here somewhere. Here we go. Oh, there's the 3 browns. And then the 2 reds is for stop on the left and stop on the right. These are all for auxiliaries except for the tag light. But I'm kind of bummed because I don't have an auxiliary turn signal left and right, which would have been nice to have. So what I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to cut those in the clear and rethink what I'm going to do for my trailer lights. I need to find my directional output leads. Well, they're all there at the back. So I don't want to just splice into my existing wiring, because when you do that, if you get a short in your trailer, which is the most likely place to get a damaged wire, somewhere between the trailer and the truck or in the trailer, it'll pop the fuse for that circuit in the whole bus. I don't want to do that. I want trailer stuff to be on separate circuits with separate fuses. So the only way I can think of doing that is with 4 relays. A left turn signal relay, a right turn signal relay, a tail light relay, and a stoplight relay. And I could power them off the relays, the trigger off of the circuits I currently have, and then supply all those relays with one big heavy power supply. Yeah, so that's going to be a little bit of a whole separate project. I want to bundle these wires up and get them up out of the way, so they kind of need to be in that. So I'm going to have to think that one through a little bit further to see what I want to do, because I could put a separate bundle for those. It would be perfectly fine to do that. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do, just to keep things a little separated. Excuse me. Must have inhaled a fly. Okay, so now it's time to organize and bundle all my wiring and get some split loom and package it up nice and neat